All right, and then welcome to our guests and visiting Rotarian staff. I will introduce. All right, so we have Ian Turner, who is a visiting Rotarian from Downtown Rotary. The question that we will ask you is, what is something you are thankful for? Also, stand up and introduce yourself.
Ian Turner. I'm thankful my parents made it here a couple days ago safely from North Idaho. So there you go.
All right, and then we have a little trio who will be talking to us at the end of the meeting. So Fred, Emma, and Henry, if you want to also tell us something you're thankful for.
Sure, we're thankful for nice weather. We in Wisconsin think 45 degrees is really beautiful. And Henry's freezing to death. He's come from Africa, so he's hoping to get us some warmer weather. But thank you for having us, and we look forward to presenting.
Sounds good. Thank you. Thanks, Steph. All right, is anyone joining us virtually?
Yes, we've got Alyssa and Laura.
Awesome. Welcome, ladies. Just a reminder, if you're making an announcement or speaking, to come up here in front of the owl so those that are online can see you. I just wanted to remind everyone that November is Foundation Month with Rotary. We are going to have an awesome presentation by Sierra in January. I was bad and I didn't get it scheduled for this month, so we'll have it in January. I'm sure it'll be fantastic. Just a little update, our Polio Plus goal for this year is $2,000. We're at 144. We do have a couple of fundraisers coming up, so I'm sure we will hit it. Last year we were over the 2,000 mark, but you can always make donations as well to Polio Plus. Just a reminder that our district governor, Ben Bauer, has made a challenge that if our district raises over 130,000 towards polio, he will dye his hair purple. So just putting that out there. And then our Rotary District Foundation, our goal for this year is $7,000. Right now we're at almost 2,500. You can make monthly contributions. That's what I do. I just have it set up every month. It takes out money out of my account. So if you're ever interested in setting that up, you can reach out to Marissa or myself. I'm sure Sierra can figure it out. There's probably many areas that can help you. So
I don't know.
just a few membership updates. We shared at our last meeting, we welcomed Cassie Miller to our club. She was approved this month. And then Brian Richardson has left our club. Rotary anniversaries, again, Colin Lucas has been with our club for 1 year, and then James Murray has been with our club for 3 years. So we are very thankful to have you guys part of our club. And birthdays, we have a couple birthdays coming up this month. We had Griffin and Taylor and Jennifer earlier this month, and Amy has a birthday later this month. So happy birthday, Amy. Thanks to everyone that came to Friendsgiving. What was it, a week ago? Yeah, it was at Driftless X. We had a great turnout. It was a lot of fun. Thanks to Steph Klein who helped organize it. Mari was there and she is very good at axe throwing. Very surprising. She hit the board almost every time and she went almost the whole time. I think everybody else was sore from throwing axes and she just kept going. So that was awesome to see. And then the next day we had a busy day. Steph, Mari, and myself went and helped put some of the beds we created for Sleep and Heavenly Peace together. I think we donated 3, 1, and then an additional 3. So a total of 7 beds, and then they were going to go and deliver more beds throughout that day. So that was really cool to see. Mari again killed it. She was a pro with the drill and just jumped right in and helped out. So thanks, Mari, for joining us. And then I don't know if we have Aaron here. We went to this as well. turn it over, I guess, Aaron and Brad.
So yeah, the 2022 Bikers Against Child Abuse Soup Cook-Off Golden Ladle belongs to Rotary After Hours. Bradley Burke, myself, my daughter Sophie, and my wife Katie represented the team. And so next year, we're maybe gonna look into having a social there at their event, November 4th, 2023. Maybe we can get a couple teams pitted against each other, get some cooking going on. So yeah, it was fun. It was a good time.
Aaron, is that a traveling trophy or is that ours?
It's a traveling trophy. So next year, like the JCs had it on their table this year,
Okay.
and they had a creamy taco soup that was very good, but it just didn't quite have enough.
You got a plaque too. There was a plaque given. for
Yeah, the plaque we get to keep. It's like
Okay.
a plaque, but this is the.
Okay, cool.
Leave it up to play.
There you go. Well, thank you both for putting in the work. The soup was very delicious. Mari was there for a while serving. Erin, I was a little sad to see that the tattoo was only temporary. If you can kind of see here, it's a little nice head tattoo. But it was a fun event. I would encourage people to attend in the future if you're able to. Maybe we can do a Rotary challenge or something like that for next year. Just a reminder, meet Eats with Mari. She's still living with Larry, and then in mid-December, she'll be transitioning to her second host family. So if you're interested in getting together with her, or if you have holiday plans or something coming up that you think she might enjoy, reach out to Mari, Larry, Laura, Lisa, or I can help too. But I know that people do things in the winter that she might enjoy and have never done, so feel free to invite her. Just remember, you have to have a background check, or it needs to be 2 adults if you spend time with her. Who's our next husband? What? Oh, Danny, Raffy, and Eric will be her second host family.
Is that third one to determine that?
Yes.
But it's not public. Oh,
Yeah, so Keith will be the last host family. Service announcements, a reminder, we have Ugly Sweater 5K. I have another slide, so just hang on a second. But we do have 3 nights at Rotary Lights. So we have the S'mores Pit 2 nights. 1 night is right after Ugly Sweater. I think we only need 4 people. So if you and a few friends or family want to volunteer at all, feel free to sign up. I think signups will be going out soon for those events. And then our big night at the Rotary Lights is December 28th. Coming up this Friday, Brad, do you want to talk about it or do you want me to go?
you can go ahead, I guess.
How about you do it?
So I signed us up for the Rotary Lights opening day parade, so I hope we can get a few people to join. I know Sierra, you signed up with some folks, and somebody else signed up. Yes, Amy signed up. She's gonna be, did we find a costume for her? Miss
Do it.
Finch?
This Friday. I'll work on it. Amazon.
It's not very long. We line up between 5th and 6th Street. It goes down Main Street, goes into the park, or State Street, goes down to the park. And just a short parade goes through the park, it sounds like. And then Santa, it's a ceremony to turn the lights on for the Rotary Lights. So it's a parade before they turn the lights on. So I thought, since we had the float ready to go, I just got to do a couple things to fix the sign, because that kind of needs some repairs. But I'll be down there with the float, ready to go. So anybody wants to come down and walk, we'll be there. Well, the parade starts like at 5 or 4:45, something like that. So get down there, because parking, I'm guessing, is going to be kind of crazy. Probably want to come early. Nice to have people walk alongside the float to keep anybody coming in. And I think James says he's got some candy canes we can hand out. So we'll try to do that. But no throwing candy on the floor for anybody that's like we had before. Appreciate it. I hope anybody can join me.
And if friends, family can join, if you want to walk in the parade, it doesn't just have to be from our club. So feel free to bring kids, families for the holidays. You can invite them. Wear ugly sweaters if you have one. So, and thank you, Brad, for doing that. All right, ugly sweater 5K. James.
You really buy a sweater like this, they are so comfortable. Yes, Ugly Sweater 5K is in less than 2 weeks. It's Saturday, December 3rd. It is our club's biggest fundraiser. After expenses, we usually get $10,000 to $15,000, and it funds a lot of the good work that we do in our community. So it's really, 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 really important. We do need lots of volunteers on everybody's table. There's a sheet of paper with the QR code. That QR code will take you to a volunteer sign up. If you haven't signed up to volunteer and you're available anytime, if you're available on Thursday, December 1st, Friday, December 2nd, Saturday, December 3rd, the afternoon of the race on Saturday, or Sunday morning, December 4th. Actually, on Thursday, all our volunteer spots are taken. So forget about Thursday. Friday, we have to put up a bunch of holiday lights over 3 miles of the march trails, because our participants will be running by holiday lights for 3 miles. So please do volunteer. We need a lot of people for that. We really need a lot of people for the day of the event, the afternoon and evening of Saturday, December 3rd. And then the least glamorous, but least stressful as well, is the day after the event and taking down all the lights. And that's on Sunday, December 4th. So please go scan that QR code, sign up for a spot if you're available on any of those days. Also at your tables is a postcard. If you have friends, family, coworkers, if you're able to hang one up at work, please do grab one and share it and spread the word with whoever you can. The more people sign up, the more money our event makes, the bigger impact it can make on the community.
Does it say prices increase Friday? So if you are running in the race or know people that want to, you can encourage them to sign up. by Friday.
Sign up before you go to bed on Thanksgiving night.
There you
So
go.
you're going to be overloaded with turkey and you want to go to sleep. Before you do that, sign up for the race, or else you'll be spending a little bit more money. But that's okay too, as long as you sign up.
And one other thing I was just gonna mention is a little different this year is we have 2 different signups. There's one that's for the community and
Right.
one that's for a club.
For the volunteering.
Sorry, yes.
I wanted to make sure I spread out our club volunteers everywhere and not just have like all our club in one spot. And then also we're giving, we just want to track our club members versus our community members. So there's 2 different signups for volunteers. The volunteer link that's on the website, oneugly5k.com, where people could sign up for the race or volunteer. That one's for community volunteers. If you already signed up through the wrong one, it's okay. So just, if you already signed up, thank you for signing up. You don't need to worry about it. Yeah, if you're a club member, sign up here. If you're not a club member, oneugly5k.com. Scroll down to volunteer. Thank you.
Thank you, James. I know it's a lot of work, so thank you for all of your time that you're putting into it.
A lot of work, but she used to do all the work. She's still doing like half.
You're doing an awesome job, so thank you. And it is a really fun event. I encourage you to come out, volunteer, run it, walk it. You don't have to run or be a runner to participate. So it's a great event. All right, upcoming Rotary events. We've been here for downtown. I'll let you go first.
Downtown Rotary started our holiday fruit baskets. So if you've got some friends, coworkers, family you like just a little bit less or a little bit more, depending on how you feel about fruit, you can go. There's a brochure on each of your tables. All of the orders are going online this year, and they start at $24.99 through tomorrow. And they go up a couple bucks. Orders have to be placed by December 1st. And if by chance you want to see me again, you can order some and see if I deliver them, because we're delivering them for free. If you have questions, there's contact information at the bottom for people who know more than me. And, if you have any questions, I can certainly point you in the right direction or answer those after the meeting. Thank you. Appreciate it. You're welcome.
Thank you for coming. So yeah, information on the table, and we can make a post too on our private Facebook page for those. And then just a few other upcoming Rotary events. There's the Holman Rotary has Holidays in the Park. It's the same day of our event, so maybe you can volunteer and then go down to that after. Sparta has their Chris Kindle Mart a few weekends coming up. Rotary East is doing bingo at Rotary Lights later in December. And then the Rotary Holiday Party, Hilltoppers Unalaska is having that. They said all are welcome. So if you're interested in attending, there's information here. Reach out to me and I can connect you. Erin, I don't know if you want to do this, but we have two Patty Rotary Lights fairs. All of the money will be going to WAFER, who is our presentation tonight. If you're interested in purchasing them, they're $20. You can give your money to Erin tonight and walk away with your very own stuffed animal. So, anything to add? All right, any other announcements that I missed or anyone wants to share? Okay, well then I will bring up Madeline to present for tonight's presentation on WAFER. Do you want to start with the video or do you? No. Okay. I'll understand. Is there a PowerPoint change or?
I can sit here and do it too. That's no problem. Yeah, you can come
That's
over
fine.
here, Madeline, and chat in front of the owl.
Oh, sure. Is there a presentation?
Nope, it's just the video that we'll end up sharing the,
Sorry. Okay.
No, that's fine. Well, thank you all for having me. I want to thank your program chairs for inviting me. It's an exciting time for WAFER. I'm a board member and we do have capital campaign going on. So I'm the co-chair of the capital campaign also. In my prior life, I've been retired 2 years, which has been awesome. But in my prior life, I was the fundraiser for the Franciscan Sisters of Perpetual Adoration. So I have a little, a little skin in this kind of game. But anyway, we're really not going to talk that much about that, other than I just want to talk to you a little bit about WAFER and what WAFER is and how it started. And it's kind of fun to be in this room with younger people, because actually it was younger people who noticed the issue. And so about 30 years ago, the students from the Lutheran Campus Ministry and Roncalli Newman Center, the Catholic Campus Ministry, got together and they noticed that their friends and their co-students were hungry. And I can only imagine, as a mother of a college student, it was possibly those kids that were like living off campus and you know, living in apartments, and all of a sudden all they got left is like ramen noodle soup to eat or whatever. So what could they do? So they got together with the area churches around the campus, and they just started with a table and just got food and money and put it out, and the kids in need came. Well, all of a sudden it became apparent that even in the neighborhood, it wasn't just kids that were hungry. There were families that were hungry in La Crosse too. And so then St. Paul's Lutheran Church on West Avenue invited the group to and hosted the food pantry there. And that's how we got our name, WAFER, West Avenue Food Emergency Resource. So so we, after the college, we went to St. Paul's. We were in St. Paul's for quite a few years, but it was in their basement. And then, you know, there's all those things. We had disabled people who couldn't get up and down the stairs and all those kinds of things. So then we finally were able to find a warehouse to purchase down on the causeway. And that's where we are today. We're outgrowing it. And so so for 10 years now, actually, so I'll talk about where we are now. So for about 10 years, the board was looking for a place to house WAFER and make a difference. And just when we see the video, you'll see some of the reasons why as to how food pantries have changed. And so we found the old Gordy's and purchased the old Gordy's on the north side on Gillette and George Street. So we're excited to be there. The neighbors are excited that we're going to be there. Boyers just built their new furniture store across the street. So it's on 3 bus lines. It's going to be a wonderful, wonderful place. But I just want to just read you just some, people think we live in a wonderful community and we live in a wonderfully caring community. But it's amazing to me that, and I'll just give you some, 22% of the city people who live in La Crosse live below the poverty level. 22%. The county rate is 10, but then there's more people, so that brings it down. So I was amazed at that. And then there's the Alice report that the United Way puts out, and that's called it's the Asset Limited Income Constrained and Employed People. So those really are like the working poor. So these people are working, they're just not making enough money to make ends meet. So there's 12,479 households in the city of La Crosse that are working poor. And then 41% of people who are over 65, which would be me, are also under the threshold. So it was just pretty amazing to me to know that many people are struggling. And then, but the exciting thing that I like about being a volunteer and a board member at WAFER is it's tangible. We can help people and they see it and they know it. And so, that's a good feeling. What we see is we do serve the chronically unemployed, and those people have mental illness, they're developmentally disabled, or they have addictions. The working poor, and then of course our senior citizens. So just wanted to let you know kind of that of why we're here and why we're still here. And then just to let you know just a little bit about WAFER. We serve about 33,000 people a year. That equates to 1.5 million meals a year. We put out 2,400 packages with our mobile pantry, the truck that goes out to the senior high rises. It goes down to the south side of La Crosse because a lot of people can't get all the way even to the causeway. So it goes out there. I put the one brochure on there. We do have a senior program, senior share. So senior citizens are able to get packages delivered to their door. I was happy to see that when I read your website that you do a backpack program for school kids. And we also do a backpack program for the kids in Bangor. There's about 40 families in Bangor that if they didn't have their backpacks filled up on Friday, they might not have food until the next Monday, or they might not have a meal until their free breakfast or free lunch at the Bangor school. So we do that every Friday. So the reasons we're moving on and moving up is because we do have lack of space. We're just seeing more and more people. The warehousing space is just not good for us. We're in the floodplain. Last summer we had, like we do, all of a sudden we get these deluges. Thank heavens for volunteers, because it was a Saturday. And they knew what was happening and they ran down there and the sandbags were out there because it just starts to seep through and just kind of destroys the cardboard cartons that are down there. That the cans don't get too problematic, but what they're sitting on does. So it's just interesting. So this is what we hope to look like. We've raised about $1.5 million. So, we had 2 more to go. So that's exciting, but it's exciting. We do just have a 3-minute presentation. We had a little glitch, so it's probably going to end. Go, what? But that's what happens. Just to inform you of how food pantry works or operates these days.
Where it looks like today, it didn't look like 20 years ago, or even 5 years ago. We have to be willing to see the changes, the ways that our world is changing, and be able to readily adapt to that in order to continue to meet the need of our community.
When we move, we will be out of the floodplain, and that is thrilling.
Having significantly more warehouse space,
And we are now on 3 bus lines.
we'll be adding a loading dock.
I'm thrilled about having a parking lot that's not an old car wash, that still has the steel runners embedded in our parking lot that are a tripping hazard.
We've experienced quite a bit of vandalism at our current facility, and so having the ability to store our vehicles inside eliminates that issue.
There will be places to park. We'll have room for handicap accessible parking. And so there are many different ways in which our services are much more accessible in this location than we were able to be in our former location.
So what we've learned in our research is that patrons of pantries are more likely to choose items that are healthier if they are staged in a certain way.
When we move into our new space, there's going to be a high ceiling. There's going to be room in the aisle so you don't feel like you're on top of everyone or claustrophobic.
So we've been really intentional with the layout of the new pantry,
It is set up like a grocery store.
placing the healthier items first. We'd like to provide a space that is bright and is structured in a way that meets Feeding America guidelines as far as the importance of nutrition items first. Displaying them in a way that is attractive, putting items that we would encourage them to choose at a higher level, and really leaving those items that maybe are more of a filler in the food package to later in the choice section, so that we're putting all of the more nutritious items first.
It would really more than just food. Because if you've ever been in a situation where you can't afford food, that's not your only problem. You're more than likely struggling with rent, you're more than likely struggling with utilities, you're trying to figure out how to feed your kids. But when we are able to offer this service, you begin to take one of those cares away. And so that you can begin to think about other things that need to happen. Whether it's going out and filling out that job application, whether it's really realizing I need to have a better plan in life. When you go someplace where somebody looks you in the eye, doesn't treat you as if you're a bother, in fact, are excited to be working with you, you begin to reclaim some of your own dignity. Then you are able to go and make your situation better. To maybe reach out and try that thing that you were afraid to try because, you know, you just didn't want to hear the word no one more time.
So what it alludes to is WAFER, once COVID, they finally, we're hoping by the end of November or by the end of December, but it's set up like a grocery store. So our patrons get to actually shop for the items that they like to eat. And so that to me is also another thing that's just really an awesome thing. Right now, a volunteer like me has to take a list and I just put it in the shopping cart and put it in a box, and then the patron gets to pick it up outside, of course. So, you know, I don't know if they would prefer cream and mushroom soup or tomatoes. I just know that they can have a can of soup, so I, you know, throw it in the thing. So that to me is a dignity part of being able to shop. And the other thing that I think is good too is, and people don't understand, so our patrons get to come once a month. So they come once a month. But when I think about it, just think of that once a month food package that might stretch your food dollars then for the rest of the month. And so that's the key, and I think that's the beautiful thing about the food pantries that we have here in our area, not just WAFER, but you know, there's other places businesses too that have it, but we just happen to be the largest one. So, any questions? I want to just also thank you for, talking about the little teddy bear. The first year that Rotary Lights is going to do it, and they chose WAFER to be the first people to benefit from selling the Rotary bears. So thanks for that. For Rotary thinking of us that way, Rotary Lights and all of your clubs together. And I know it looks like you're going to be doing a lot. But December 8th, so tell your friends, December 8th is a WAFER night. So if anybody goes on that night to bring the canned goods or their dollar bills, yay.
I have a question.
Yes.
So you mentioned other area food banks. Hunger Task Force is the other one that I'm aware of. Do you have different missions, or how are you different? How are you the same? Like, what differentiates WAFER from Hunger
It's a
Task
really good question. So if you think of it, it's not different. We're retail, they're wholesale. So Hunger Task Force actually purchases food or gets donated food, and then like the home and food pantry or basket will call and say, hey, we need a case of chicken noodle soup, and they can buy it from or purchase it from Hunger Task Force. We're actually like home and food. We're actually feed the people. So a person actually comes to an individual or a family actually comes to us.
So individuals don't go to Hunger Task Force?
No.
Gotcha.
So that, yeah, so it's a wholesale. So we, I've only been a board member 2 years now. So we actually are aligned with Feeding America. So we get our food from a different wholesaler from Feeding America.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Thank you.
but that is the difference. And so, but a great question. Thanks for asking.
Thank you.
Yeah.
When are you expected to move into the new location?
Oh, it keeps getting pushed back. Bummer. They're about 8 weeks behind now, so we're hoping by May. Yeah, a lot had to do with it. Everybody in the world was with COVID. We were waiting for the steel. The steel just came, so now they're putting the girder. Now they're. So this is like the new building that's being built in front of the old building that was there, and so we were waiting for the steel to put them together so we can roof it all. So those kinds of things have been hard. And then there's also still even staffing and working issues with getting enough carpenters, masons, whatever other electricians, whatever you need.
So that looks very different. But did you have to do a lot of renovations inside, considering it was a grocery store?
Yes and no. They pulled it all out. So what we really need, so you can't, but the new part actually is going to be the shopping spot. The old spot, the old where we have the most will be the warehousing spot. So we didn't have to do as much because that's where we're going to warehouse the food, the food and things. But what we're excited about is we'll be able to stack it. We're going to have walk-in coolers. Presently now, I was a gap. We get wonderful cases and cases and cases from like cottage cheese or whatever from a dairy, and we put it in a cooler. And then, but we have this other cooler that we have to like move it to for people to grab it, to put it in the packages for the people to get. So we're like moving product like 10 times. So we're really excited about the new warehousing space. We'll have new freezers where they'll drive right in with the forklift kind of thing from the back end and lift it down. That'll be more efficient for our volunteers and way more safer too. So we're excited about that. So we did, yeah, I mean, it was an old building. So yeah, new flooring, but. Right, so right, you can see the garage door. So we're gonna have a garage is being built for our 2 vehicles. Yeah, it's the same old story. You've read it in the news. The catalytic converters came in. disappear off of our vehicles. Twice now this year. Even though we had, lights, camera, action, we're still gone. So it's quite a bit, that's an expense. That's just kind of sucks. So yeah, so there'll be a garage, there will be parking. And it's just gonna be really fun to be part of the neighborhood. It's gonna be fun.
You own the building.
We did own the building, we do own the building down to on the causeway. We'll sell it. Yeah. But we can't sell it yet, because we can't get too, that's always the funky thing. So anyway, well, I thank you so much. Yeah, so thanks.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you, Madeline, for coming and for volunteering with WAFER. There's obviously a great need in our community for people to get food and nutritious food. So I think this will be a huge improvement. I've been down to the warehouse and it does its job, but it looks like it's coming along really nice. And the plan for the new center will probably make people feel good about having to go to the food pantry when they might feel uncomfortable. So thank you. All right, so we have another presentation that we're going to sneak in really quickly. So we have Henry, who is with a nonprofit in Africa here tonight. He just happened to be in town while we were meeting. So we told him to come on and we would give him a few minutes to present. And then we have Emma and Fred here with him too. I don't know if you guys are joining or not.
Hi, thank you. Madeline, thank you for your presentation. There is like a minute and a half.
Call me when you're ready.
I'll give you, okay. Thank you for doing what you're doing. We're also going to be talking about hunger, but in a different place. Also, thank you for representing us retired folks. So I got to tell you guys, I got a call the other day from my daughter. She says, "Dad, what are you doing?" I said, "Sammy, I'm retired. I'm sitting on the couch in my boxers, eating tacos, drinking beer, and watching television. That's what retired people do." So she said, "Dad, you're a loser." Anyway, I'm not going to talk to you about my retirement, but we did have our business here for 41 years in La Crosse, and it was a great run. And we worked a lot with kids. That's my passion. Henry works a lot with kids, and I've known Henry now, I think, for 3 years. And he runs a school in Kenya, Africa. And I've been to Africa and seen what the kids go through there. And it's very sad. I mean, I know we have hunger and we have poor children here, and it's so sad. Over there, a lot of those kids don't have parents. A lot of the parents have died from the AIDS, and a lot of the kids live with grandpa and grandma. And grandpa and grandma very often are very old. They're not supplying the kids with food. They're not supplying them with education. And I think we all know that if you don't have food and you're a young person, your body doesn't grow the way it should. Your mind doesn't grow the way it should. So Henry has taken it upon himself to work with these kids. He has a school that has 300 children that would not get food or education otherwise. And he and his wife have taken it upon himself to do something for these kids. So with that said, if we can, we've got about a minute and a half video. One of our other friends that's worked with Henry did a little video for us today. And we've got other things too. He has another video. If you folks have questions afterwards, we'd be happy to hang around and answer any questions you might have. So this is a real short one, and Henry will come up and tell you his story.
I'm excited to have Henry Jahunga. Henry is a friend of mine. I've known him since 2008. He runs the Nordic Community Academy in Kenya. What I can tell you is I've been part with Henry. Henry's done everything he said he's going to do. Let me just bullet point it. He feeds 300 plus children a day on 2 meals in a part of the country where meals aren't and food is a problem right now. He gives education to students where there's no other educational spot. They can't go to school anywhere else. 75 miles from there, there's no other education. That happens there. Some of these young people, the young girls in particular, will have to be married off to some older man if they can't get a $450 per year education. That gets them school, books, everything they need, and their food every day. They are transforming that part of the world. And Henry, I'm just excited. I know you're going to share with people tonight, but I'm going to just tell you from my point of view, Henry has done everything he needs to do in that area. He has the only water in that area because we put a well in that area. He has electricity that's been brought in that area because we did that. And you can make a difference with these in this part of the world. You can literally change that part of the world through it. Yeah.
Hello. Hello. Yeah, I think I'll shout louder a little because I think that's how I'm used to talking. My name's Henry Jahunga Idadia from Kenya. I am the director of a school called Anointed Rivers, Anointed Community Academy. We are raising 350 kids. Most of them, as you've heard, don't have food, don't have clothing. And basically what I'm doing as the director of the school or administrator of the school, I'm trying to reach out to friends to be able to sustain these kids by giving them food 2 times a day. Who most of them, if we don't do so, like girls are vulnerable for getting married very fast because they have nothing to eat. And so the grandparents many times will tell them, because you don't have food, you better get married because I cannot sustain you. So many girls get married and many boys who just, have no future. So I tend to reach out to many friends from different countries, from different types of people to be able to see whether we can be able, do something to bring future for these kids. Most of them, as we have heard, they come from very different places. That means the school is very far away. At me, with 500 US dollars, that is 500 US dollars, you are able to help me buy food for this child, buy uniform, buy some shoes, and buy some pens for them to use in class, and maybe just for the sake of the tuition for the school. That's what we're doing right now. And right now, as I'm talking to you, many of them, because of hunger, they're trying to do anything they can do. So I'm trying to raise up a group of people who in future, by the grace of God or whatever it is, they will have something to touch on and they'll have a future for themselves. So we are trying to do anything we can do to be able to give them a future and hope. And when they have future, they'll be able to support their families, and these families are able to stand firm. And of course, as you know, when there is no poverty in an area, crime becomes less and sickness becomes less. And that's why I am here today. So I want to thank you so much. And I'm very much appreciative for listening to me. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, some of you may be asking maybe how you can support us. We have a means in which you can support us. Maybe you can see me later on. I am having my sister Emma Jane. She's the one who connected me here. And so you can also ask her. She's also she has supported us with 1 child in school by 500 US dollars. And I think I'm very happy. If you are interested, I can give you the details on how you can do it. Thank you so much. God bless.
Thank you. Technology is not my friend, so I'll let you do it. Thank you all for being here. We appreciate it. Thank you for what you're doing. Like Henry said, you're welcome to talk to him later on if you have any questions or if you want to help support his cause. So we appreciate you all being here. Thanks for being flexible with jumping in at the last minute and stuff. to get
Close
done
out.
early tonight,
Close
maybe.
everything.
It's
Yeah,
like 2
we'll
meetings in
see
a
how long
row.
this takes first. Oh, yeah, sorry, never mind. I look at the wrong thing, totally. No, it's not.
Sorry, guys. All right, our next meeting is in 3 weeks. So next Tuesday is the 5th Tuesday of the month. So just remember, we don't meet for 3 weeks, I think. I don't know. December 13th, we'll be here. Downtown Main Street will be our presenter with the Lacrosse Chamber to talk about some of the new things that they're doing downtown and then in the community to bring business. So that will be our next meeting on December 13th. I was just gonna, maybe flip these around, but just a reminder, there are a couple committee meetings tonight. Ugly Sweater, if you want to join, you don't have to be part of the committee, just to like learn what the different pieces are of the weekend that you can help with. Membership, Neil, are you meeting or no? Okay, Neil is gonna have a membership meeting very briefly. Are there any other meetings? I think that might be it.
Service does the meeting of the meeting.
Their meeting.
We were supposed to meet before the meeting. So no. And exciting news.
Yes.
Phil is taking over the service committee. Service emails will be coming from Phil in the future.
Well, thank you, Caitlin, for taking service committee on, and Phil, thank you for jumping in and helping on that committee as well. As you know, our club does a lot of service projects, so it is an important one. So thank you for moving that along, especially during COVID. I know that was a big lift, so thank you, Phil. All right. I think that's it. Okay.
Can I just reiterate the Ugly Sweater meeting?
Yep.
Definitely go to Neil's membership meeting. These can get done fast. And then come to my meeting. It doesn't matter if you're a member of the Ugly Sweater committee at all. If you plan on helping us out, you might find a leadership role for you. Don't let that scare you away. If you plan to help us out that weekend, join us here in this room, about 10 minutes.
As we've said, that's one of our big fundraisers, and it takes a lot of people to make that event successful. So if you're around that weekend, even if you can volunteer for just a couple of hours, we really appreciate you being there. So, all right. Anything else anyone has to share, say? Okay. So we'll end the meeting with the 5-way test of all the things we think, say, or do.
Sincere to all concerned, will it build goodwill of our relationships, will be beneficial to all concerned.
All right. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Let's push it back.